Happy Spookies, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, having a most excellent day. And today we're going to briefly talk about a couple of movies I've watched recently. Okay, so the first movie I want to briefly talk about is this found footage movie called Jim's Room. I believe this came out in 2022 and it was directed by Zach King, and it stars Zach King himself as well as Michael, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, Michael Masakevich. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry. Now, this movie is, how do I say it? It's very simple in plot. It's a very straightforward movie. What really makes this movie, well, first, what is it about? We have the main guy who is homeless. He is a drug addict, and he is out there asking for money while being recorded by somebody, and which is very odd. Already, the fact that this guy is just, stalking this one homeless dude is a little odd. But we have him just out there begging for money, and then here comes the host, who is the director. That's just the character that is on IMDb, and he basically hires him for help. And I don't know, it's right off the bat, it just feels very sus. And he hires him to paint a room, and he does a really good job. But then he takes a little break, and they start talking. And you know what? What also really makes this movie, I think, is the main dude. I forgot his character name in the movie, but yeah, the homeless dude. He really sells this movie. Just the way he just portrays this ex-drug addict and everything. I don't know. I thought he did a very good job, and he is definitely the fucking carrying the movie on his back. But as these two start talking, it becomes very known to the audience that okay, there's something very sketchy about the host. He's giving these really red flags, and he starts at first he's very buddy with the dude. And as the movie progresses, it gets very unsettling. There are times where I was cringing. I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this, dude. This is so fucking weird. The dude's a little bit of a pervert. Yeah, there's one scene in the movie that I was just I was a little jaw dropped that they were trying to go there. It's what the fuck? The next movie I want to talk about is not a found footage movie, but it's more of a traditional style, and it's a werewolf movie. Now, this was recommended to me by my buddy Rainico, and I'm so glad that I freaking watched it because, man, what a pleasant surprise. I just watched the trailer right before recording this, and it feels like almost a different movie that the trailer is trying to sell you. Because the movie is basically about this small little town, and it's starting to experiencing these murders. A lot of people in the town are like, yo, this is obviously a werewolf attack. And then we have the director, and who's also stars in the movie, Jim Cummings. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. So he made one hell of a movie right here, though. He is the sort of sheriff, or right under the sheriff or something like that, because his dad is also a police officer, and I think he's right above him, or one of them are right above each other. But anyways, yeah, everybody's basically thinking that there's a werewolf going on, and except for him. He is the only one determined that, no, this is not a werewolf. This is a fucking dude, and he's going to catch him. There is a lot of humor in the movie that I was not expecting at all. It's very subtle at times. The music is really good, too. There's a lot of, I don't know, the way there's a funeral going on. And one thing I remember a lot is about the music and the tone of this. Because it's supposed to be very, sad, but it was almost funny in a sense. I don't know. The whole movie is there's a very subtle, humorous tone, a dark comedy almost. But there's also really emotional stuff in the movie with the dad and the son, as well as the dad and his daughter in the movie. I just thought those aspects were really great. Probably one of the better parts, if not the best parts of the movie, except for the werewolf stuff, because that was really cool. They didn't want to reveal too much, and I appreciate they didn't, because there's a really, really awesome payoff, in my opinion. I've heard differently, and people don't apparently like this movie. I don't know. I thought it was great. The cinematography, just amazing. All around the board. I think this movie was just fucking amazing. Really quick, while I have you here, I want to briefly talk about a movie I watched that I was just jaw dropped at. I wasn't going to talk about it, but the only reason I watched it is because I saw it getting bashed on Twitter. And I was like, what is this? Because I recently heard about it, then I kind of just forgot about it until it got released, and then people were just laughing at it. And it's the new Amazon Prime's War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube. This. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave this in too because oh my fucking god, I cannot believe this movie exists. It is legitimately one long ad. It is a sci-fi movie slash ad for Amazon Prime. I swear it's crazy. You have Ice Cube, and he is like the ultimate hacker working for the government. Like he can just do anything he wants. He can spy on anybody. He just fucking and aliens, I guess. Now the CGI in this movie, it is almost like worse than Asylum films. Like if you're familiar with the Asylum and their movies, it is like on that level, or just as bad or a little bit worse. And there's so many scenes in this movie that you can just nitpick at and just like not nitpick, but just pause and just start laughing. Like no way this is fucking happening. I recently shared a clip because this is probably the funniest part of the whole thing, was when Ice Cube was they were trying to send him a code and he had to download it onto a device, but he didn't have a device. So they're like, what do you mean? You don't have a thumb drive? And one of the dudes in the movie is like works for Amazon. So he's like, you have to order it online and I'll fly it via Amazon Prime Air. And it's just so cringe inducing. And they like the whole thing is they want our data, I guess. All of our data. How do you say that, by the way? I guess you can go either or, right? Because that's not necessarily a tomato, is it? Because that's completely, and I don't get that tomato. No, it's tomato. Who the fuck says tomato? This movie is so ridiculous. They want our data. They're starting to steal all of our Facebook memories and pictures and voice messages. It's so stupid, dude. I couldn't believe it. Ice Cube. I watched a few reviews. Apparently this was filmed and made right around COVID. So I don't know if that gives an excuse, because Host came out during COVID, and that is a fucking awesome found footage screen life movie. Which this is a screen life movie. The whole premise is like basically off the laptop. Yeah, that was a fucking movie. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up because I have to get to work soon. Happy spookies.